Footbap Nation!
Let's ride!
Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Fantasy Footbaps podcast. It's me, B Dizzle, with my co-host Paul. Paul, say what up to the fans at home.
What up, Tucson, Arizona residents?
Everyone, Fantasy Footbaps is getting crazy. The standings are close. The losers keep losing for now. But it's kind of getting wild up in here right now. I don't know if we've ever seen a season like this before. And you guys will see what we're talking about once we get more into the games, Paul. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. First game. What do you think the first game we should talk about is?
I mean, me and Mike could be an easy start.
That's it. Yeah. Start them off slow here, huh?
Yeah, there wasn't much happening.
Let's see. So, first one. Yeah, this is a perfect one. I honestly forgot that this game was even being played. First game, Paul beats Mike by 40. Paul moves to 6-3, Mike to 2-7. This is about what we expected. Didn't we talk about? Okay, so I'm pretty sure I gave out I may have given out predictions for this because I think you were like, I might lose to him or whatever.
Hey, if you look at the projections, I know projections don't mean anything, but it made me a little nervous.
Yeah.
95-102. That's kind of close.
Yeah. But I think I just remember thinking Cortland Sutton was going to do good against Baltimore and shit. Either way, it was a blowout. Is there anyone on your team? You're starting Jalen Coker at the flex.
That was literally, I had no other option. It would have been Javonte or Coker.
This is a couple weeks in a row now of this. People are questioning your depth. What do you have to say to them?
It's valid, dude. Jameson Williams is back from suspension, so that's good. Deontay Johnson got traded, so he didn't play much.
Jameson Williams, who you hate to start.
Well, he might be good to start. But you never know. T. Higgins hurt, all that shit. Mark Andrews isn't playable. I just keep him for fun. Gabe Davis, no way I'd play him. Even if he was healthy, I wouldn't have. So it's just, maybe things will turn around, but I'm actually not too confident. I need T. Higgins to fucking play.
T. Higgins is dead, and I don't know about you. Do you like that Deontay Johnson went to Baltimore for your fantasy team? Yeah, I was going to say, it was really fucked up that happened because think about it. If Deontay went to Kansas City, for example, like Kansas City got Hopkins, but what if they got Deontay? Or even if Deontay stayed in Carolina, like Bryce didn't look too bad this past week or even really the week before. And it's like Deontay went from being like the number one alpha to like the wide receiver 4, basically, even behind like Andrews. Like if you want to say that, like Zay Flowers is the one. Bateman, they like Bateman, and Bateman plays just a different role from Deontay. And then Mark Andrews, I don't know. It was fucked, dude. It still might work out. Like there could be injuries and stuff, so it's not like the end of the world. Yeah, but that was shitty for everyone involved. Now, Zay Flowers was fine this week, but it could be shitty in the future for all of them.
Yeah, Deontay didn't play much at all, so we don't really know what it could look like.
Yeah, but everyone, it's the usual suspects: Gibbs, Kupp, Josh Allen. I guess you haven't had Kupp all year, but Gibbs and Josh Allen have basically been single-handedly carrying you most of this year, right?
For most of it, yeah. Josh Allen's been good, solid. He hasn't had a
piss class in a while. Yeah. He started out the year having more piss classes than decent games. Yeah, I guess the only bummer for Josh Allen at this point is he gets you 20 to 24 points, but not more than that. He hasn't scored 30 points since week 3, where I feel like in years past, by week 9, he probably had 5 30-point games already. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
He did have... I was watching their game. He had a 15-yard touchdown run called back, which sucks.
I think I remember that, yeah.
So that could have been an extra 8 points right there.
Yeah. Either way, Paul blows out Mike. Nothing new. We all saw it coming, even though the projections didn't. I think I was maybe slightly worried because you had T. Higgins, and I was pretty sure he wasn't going to play. But at the end of the day, I guess it just shows that you can not have T. Higgins and still be fine against Mike's team, at least in its current shape. Austin beats Ryan. Austin moves to 4-5. Ryan to 6-3. I guess
a team with a team with no depth is Ryan. We gotta say it.
Yeah, things are. Look, Ryan made that trade. I'm just saying it right now. And I was talking to Kyle yesterday. He said the same thing. When that trade happened, I remember people in the league were pissed about it, and pretty much everyone was like, Ryan won this trade by a landslide. I don't understand where that really came from. Like, the Browns are bad. Nick Chubb is not healthy 100%. Like, he's just not in a good spot right now. Like, I think Nick Chubb isn't super startable unless you want a safe 5 points. And then DK Metcalf is hurt. So in my mind, the trade was literally DK Metcalf for Devontae Smith. And in my mind, I was like, I'd just rather have the guy that's healthy right now. So yeah, and Ryan was 6-2 when he made it or something, or 5-1, 6-1, something like that. So Ryan could afford to lose games anyways. But yeah, I'm not even saying that Ryan lost that trade or something. I just thought it was pretty even. Gorman wanted to win now, and he got Devontae Smith. Ryan thinks that DK is going to be better than Devontae when he comes back, so he got DK. But I just thought Nick Chubb was a wash and all that, right? Am I crazy? I didn't think Nick Chubb was really anything to write home about.
I was blinded by the hype. I didn't care. I was on Ryan's side.
Yeah, well, I feel like everyone was. I just was and I think it probably just comes down to people being super optimistic about Chubb, but he doesn't even look the same out there, which is a bummer to say. But he just doesn't.
Ryan's team, once DK is back, he will have that flex spot filled every week, so that's easy. But Mike Williams, I feel like even though he's in Pittsburgh now, he's still 5-point ceiling every week, maybe. So
yeah, Ryan was hyped as fuck about Mike Williams. There's a couple things going on with Ryan's team. Was first of all, Ryan just loved Zach Moss. I guess Zach Moss did have random double-digit games here at the beginning of the year. I didn't even really realize those happened. But I feel like Ryan was maybe too loyal this year in terms of he still has Charbonnet on his bench. He still has Mike Williams. He still has that. And not even saying you shouldn't have Charbonnet or Zach Moss or I don't think Mike Williams should have been on a roster for a while now, but you can have him I feel like Ryan's bench, he didn't put together players that are startable players at any point. His bench is basically just hopefully guys get hurt and I can luck into a player. Even if you think about it, Raheem Mostert and Nick Chubb now, it's at the end of the day, Ryan has Lamar and George Kittle, so he's always going to be in games just by having the two historic quarterback and tight end seasons this year. Yeah, I don't know. Was it the drafting or was he dropping players? Did he make other trades? What happened to Ryan's team?
Yeah, I don't know where it went. It changed for him, but he's been banking on this lottery ticket.
This team is just all lottery tickets. Backup running back, backup running back, backup running back, backup running back for Mostert at this point. He is the backup.
I think he drafted most of these guys.
He drafted. No, I think he picked up Blake Corum later. No, he dropped Blake Corum and picked him back up though, right? Yeah. So, and he even had Ray Davis too. So he's just basically I get it because I've had seasons where I've had a guy or two, and they are backups. For me personally, I never, unless there's nothing on waivers, I pretty much never have a backup running back of a player I don't own, And basically what happened, that all stems from I had Dalvin Cook in my work league, didn't even want him, but because I got Dalvin, I took Alexander Madison. And like Dalvin Cook was amazing for me, missed a couple games, and Madison came in and did good. And it was the same thing like the next year. But then like the next 2 years, because I knew how good Madison could be when Cook was out, for the next 2 years in our league, I drafted Madison for like Cook always misses like 4 games a year. He'll be great to step in. Kept him on my roster all year, and it was the worst decision possible because Cook got injured random weeks. Madison came in, sucked in those weeks, and so I was like, it was like all season long I had a player that I couldn't start, and the weeks where I could start him, he didn't even do good. Like, so I know like what Ryan's thought process is here, being like, hey, if someone gets injured, like I can maybe get lucky and have a starting running back. But like, I think it's just the fact that I don't think that's a bad thing to do for like 1 or 2 players. But like when your whole bench is basically filled with guys that are like you're banking on injuries, it's just like it can kind of get tough, you know? Like if you don't get those injuries.
Yeah, I'd rather just like have actual potential starters on my bench, and then if someone is injured, I wouldn't mind throwing $40 on the fab pickup for him because it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, and I get it. Like, some people like this 0 RB strategy. I personally just fucking hate it.
That's
because to me,
I'd never do it.
Yeah, to me, it's like I know that I have shit luck. So banking on like guys to get hurt and me get lucky, like that just doesn't happen for me. Like, so that's why I would just never do it. But yeah, like the only times I draft backup running backs are if they're the backup to my running back, or if it's a 50-50 backfield and like maybe they're not the starter, but like, because I think going into the season, you know, the Bengals were like, Zach Moss is technically the starter, but I remember them saying everything about like, you know, the preseason is an audition for Chase Brown. We want him to be the guy and stuff. Like, so Chase Brown to me was someone that I wanted. Or like Rico Dowdle was like, I think Zeke was listed as a starter, but like Zeke fucking sucks. So like I was like, I'll take Rico Dowdle. Like, so those are, like you said, the guys that can potentially start without banking on an injury. Like those are kind of the guys I want. But it's just kind of crazy that it's gotten to this point. At the end of the day, Ryan wanted Monty and not Raheem Mostert. And if he had Monty, you know, I think his team would still be looking like a little bit rough, but I don't think it would be looking like it. Like, replace Mostert with Monty. I mean, I bet he still starts Chubb this week, but like he has buys and shit. And I feel like he'd only have he'd still be starting
maybe
Chubb,
one loss at that point.
Yeah, so it's tough. Yeah, it's tough out here for Ryan.
Yeah, but we do gotta focus Austin with the big win. I mean, Ryan is one of those top 5 teams going into this week, even though he's starting some questionable people with no Kittle and shit. But Austin getting this win, that's a big thing. His plan maybe coming together.
Yeah, he's now that he's stacked some wins, he said his whole thing was predicated on he had free wins against shitty teams, and then he went out and beat like Ryan and like maybe someone else that wasn't shitty. So it was imagine if he had won against both Dave and Mike, right? And then beaten Ryan. I mean, he would be 5-4 right now, and it'd be like, all right, Austin's like full blown making the playoffs.
And
but
CMC
like
coming back.
Yeah, but like good. Even looking at Austin's team, like James Cook is like boom bust, but like I mean he's scored 30 points a couple times. Oh my god, he's really boom bust. This is not as good of a game log as I was expecting. I have him in my work league, and I've been scoring like 150 points every week. So I just thought that it felt like he was doing better than that. But like either way, boom bust. Devon Achane is like when with Tua, he's basically scoring over 20 points a week.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh no. My fire alarm's going off.
If you want to mute, I can take over.
Yeah, one sec.
Battery 80%.
Well, Footbap Nation, just you and me. Prepare to listen to me talk for a minute here. But Austin, I'll give you some praise. You took Jerry Jeudy from me. I've dropped him to waivers twice. I traded him and then I dropped him after Mike dropped him or something. I don't know. I've had him on my team twice. I've dropped him both times or gotten rid of him in some way, and he's doing well now. So it just pains me to see him on another roster, even though I had betrayed him. But also at the same time, I'm happy for the man. He's getting those 10-point games, 2 back-to-back 10-point games. That's what I fucking need right now. T. Higgins' bitch ass won't fucking play as he tears a new muscle every fucking week, and I'm pissed at him. And it'd be a great time to start Jeudy in his place, because I'd feel like a free 10 points is coming my way no matter what week they're in. Except the bye week, of course. But, yeah. And also Ray Davis. He stole Ray Davis right from Ryan's nose, unfortunately. But Ray Davis had that long touchdown pass from Josh Allen, my man, and it ended up looking pretty good for him. So Ray Davis in the past 4 weeks, I know you guys can't see it. Brandon's cursor's moving. But Ray Davis in the past 4 weeks has, I don't know where he's going, hit 11, 16, 16, and then a 3-point game. We'll ignore that 3. Besides that, it looks pretty good. I don't know where Brandon's going. Oh, Ray Davis is on Austin's bench, but he found him the other way. But as I was saying, past 4 weeks, he's looking pretty good. He just catches a touchdown, or for some reason he had 20 carries. Was James Cook injured? I can't remember. If that was the case,
James Cook was injured. Sorry, okay, Molly lit a bomb off in our house, apparently. I didn't even notice it because the door was closed. I walked out of my room and the apartment's completely filled with smoke. I don't know how she didn't pass out and almost die from all the smoke.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that was crazy. It smells like something's burning in here. It smells crazy right now. Austin's in the. We talked about the whole backup thing, right? Like having the backup to your starter. And I thought Ray Davis was on Austin's bench, but when I scrolled down and you were like, he's scrolling to nowhere, this fucking idiot, I was like, oh shit, is he not on Austin's bench? Yes, he is. But yeah, that's the situation you want. Like Ray Davis is really fucking good. And if James Cook gets hurt, which he did, he has Ray Davis, great. But like Austin's team, he's 4-5, but I think he might win out from here. Because I'm just saying, like, quarterback is is not his strong suit right now, but he still is. It doesn't matter. Like I said, A-Chance gets him 20 plus each week. James Cook will have more weeks with 30 points, and he's like at least solid overall. I don't know why is he still starting because he has buys, or maybe Austin's team isn't as good as I thought. Chris Olave's dead. DJ Moore sucks, but Trey McBride is good. Zay Flowers is good.
Brian Robinson is startable usually.
Oh yes, that's who he would have. So Austin's basically only starting one bad player every week, and that's DJ Moore. Other than that, his team is good. So Austin's team is looking to make like actually a playoff push. I'm at the point where I would be. If Austin was 5-4, I would guarantee he's in the playoffs. The only reason I can't guarantee him at 4-5 is like anything can happen, and like everyone has good records right now at this point. So, and I think Austin might be one of the lower scorers of all of us in the league at this point. So that's the only thing holding me back from guaranteeing Austin's in. But like overall from this game, Austin's on the come up. Ryan is on the come down, but he's 6-3. Like it would be very hard for him not to make the playoffs. I still think he's guaranteed to make the playoffs. And when he gets DK Metcalf back, like he's going to be able to bench one of these guys that shouldn't be started. So he'll be fine either way. But that was an upset, huge upset, a much needed upset for Austin. Mm-hmm. And now Chip loses by 30 to Kyle. Kyle's team is on a roll right now. Joe Mixon is the best running back in football, apparently. Tony Pollard is like the best running back in football, apparently. Garrett Wilson is like the best wide receiver in football, apparently. Brock Bowers is the best tight end in football, apparently. How does this happen with Kyle every season? Doesn't it seem like his team starts out and it's like, man, this team doesn't look good, and like, not that it doesn't look good, but it's like this team only looks all right. Like, remember at one point Kyle was like 4-1, and I remember on the podcast we were like, his team doesn't look that great. But now, like, he always has people randomly start. Like, Garrett Wilson is now, like I said, he's just randomly good now. Tony Pollard has been, like, fine all year, but, like, I don't know. Like, Joe Mixon, obviously, you know, he's just been, like, whatever. But Jalen Hurts is magically, like, not shit anymore. Because he was bad to start the year. Brock Bowers, I mean, this was crazy. I can't even believe this. Did you see how Brock Bowers even got the 13 points?
No, I did not.
They lost 41-24. He scored a touchdown with like 20 seconds left in the game. It was 41-17. It was the most garbage time touchdown ever. Kyle had Puka Nacua get hurt, and he still won by 30. And he had anyone on his bench he could have played. Like, Nico Collins is dead, so Tank Dell is good. Josh Downs is good. Like, he's got a deep bench too.
Ramondre doing well on a shit ass Patriots team too.
It's just you can't trust Ramondre at this point. Did you? Oh my God, this is even worse than I thought. I forgot about this. He had 21 total yards. Oh no, okay, wait, never mind. 38 yards. He had 16 rushing yards, but 20 fantasy points, 2 touchdowns. That's probably not going to happen on the Patriots offense. But like, either way, Kyle has good players on his, but like, I think Ramondre is solid, Tank Dell solid, Josh Downs, Keon Coleman. I don't. Xavier Legette is so fucking weird, dude. He keeps scoring these touchdowns. Let's see.
It's just touchdowns. They keep him alive.
Yeah, he has 4 touchdowns, which makes it look like he's doing good. But he has such bad drops, like, week in and week out. Like, he's just such a raw prospect. But the one thing he's good at is in the red zone. It's so weird. Like, the only time I see Xavier Legette and think he looks like a legit wide receiver is just in the red zone. But like, he cooks guys in the red zone. It's so fucking bizarre. Chip 4-5, you know, him losing this is pretty depressing. At the end of the day, I mean, Austin gave him Breece Hall, and Breece Hall like hasn't lived up to it at this point. Mm-hmm. He had a couple weeks in there, but he had a 5.99 the other weeks. Kareem Hunt has basically saved Chip's season. Good call on Chip also benching Baker for Patrick Mahomes this week. I think this is the first week Patrick Mahomes has scored 20 points since week 7 of last year. So that's actually, you know, pretty impressive. Insane. He got also, 0 points from Jalen McMillan.
I think he was hurt. He was out. And it was the Monday night game, and he couldn't drop anyone, so he just left him there. But
I'm in complete shock he didn't start Cedric Tillman. He would have lost anyways, but I'm shocked he didn't start Tillman just because Tillman had the back-to-back weeks. Like, how do you see this production and then play Jalen McMillan, who hasn't scored double digits this year?
12, 9, and 11 targets in a row with Jameis throwing it. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a little bit shocking, but even if Chip did that, he loses by 14. So it would just make the loss more depressing, I guess. But yeah, either way, you know, Chip still has a chance. 4-5 has you in, like, it has you in like the race. So it's still whatever. Well, that might be the best one. So we'll wait for that one. Next game we're going to talk about here is me versus Steve. I beat Steve 190, and it was basically the same story as last week. Remember when I was killing Dewey, and then all of a sudden my guys didn't score in the second half, which I've mentioned on this podcast multiple times. I don't know what it is about my players. They do not score points in the second half of football games for the most part. It's pretty bizarre. Now, A.J. Brown gets me 4 points. Like, I'll give him a break because he got hurt. But like Kyler, they just were up so early, so fast. They scored 4 touchdowns, and all 4 were rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, it was like, and they ran was for like a different person too.
Yeah, and they ran for like 250 yards or something. So like that kind of sucked. But yeah, it was. I went into the 1 o'clock games, or after the 1 o'clock games were over, I was projected to win like 127 to like 90, and then all of a sudden, yeah, like, you know, A.J. Brown gets hurt. Kyler doesn't do anything. I guess Ken Walker got 12 points, which isn't bad, but he was probably projected like 14. It's just, this is the second week in a row, and it happens every year in fantasy. I'm jealous of the people that like get points in the second half of their fantasy football. You don't watch your scores as it goes along, right, Paul? Like, don't you say you don't look? Yeah. I would say never do it, because you'd probably notice weird trends like that. That's just one of the trends I've noticed over the last like 3 years is like, it's shocking to me how often I get to like the 4:00 games or not the 4:00 games. It's shocking to me how often I'll get like 15 points from a guy in the first half and 18 points from another guy in the first half and 10 points from another guy in the first half and 12 from another. And then like it gets to the second half of those games and they combine for 3 points, completely disappear. And then I either lose a game or like win a close game. It's like it's frustrating too because tiebreakers are based on points scored, right? And now it's like 2 weeks in a row where last week I won like 99 to whatever, this week 99, and 99 isn't bad, but it's like when I was on pace to score like 130 both of those weeks, like it kind of fucking sucks because like those would have been nice points to have. Hysterical that Kyler got those 4 points though. Because that is his worst game of his career, fantasy points wise, which is hysterical. But he was also credited with a fumble that 100% wasn't his fault. I'm going to go off to the side and see if I can pull a clip up. But Paul, if you want to say anything you notice from this matchup, I just realized Steve had JSN on his bench. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Steve, I don't know if this is a trend or not, but just benching the wrong guys at the wrong time. Mike Evans is hurt. Can't blame him for that. Kyle Pitts back to his 1 point performance after.
You know what? 23. I'm looking at JSN's game log. The reason why I didn't even know that Steve had JSN is because I remember going into this week thinking I was afraid of Romeo Doubs against Detroit's like passing defense. Now that game ended up being that game ended up being rainy and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I didn't even think that he would start JSN because I was like, why would anyone start JSN? Actually hysterical. I played my sister in our fantasy league and she had JSN and I think I lost by like 5 points. And you know, JSN scored 34 points. Absolutely bonkers. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, it's just Jacoby Myers, that's a great... I mean, it's working out wonderfully now that Devontae Adams is gone. He's an easy 10 points at least, I'd say, per week. So that's an easy start. But yeah, the Dobbs thing, when you see a matchup against Detroit, you figure it's going to be high scoring. But yeah, like you said, rainy game sucked. CeeDee Lamb, didn't he get hurt maybe? Or they just... Cowboys
he got hurt with like 4 minutes left in the game, so that wasn't really anything.
The Cowboys are ass now, so CD is going to be struggling a bit.
He actually got hurt and then like kept playing and caught like a long pass and then got like even more hurt and then they were like, get him out. Also, another funny thing about it, just because I fucking follow along here, I was up actually in this matchup. I was up like 97 to 81 or something, and it was the end of the 4:00 games and I was like, man, all right, easy win, like whatever. Stopped paying attention for like 1 second, got back onto my phone, looked, and it was like 97 to 90 and I was like, what the fuck? It's like a close game now. He still had guys in too. Fucking DeAndre Swift, dude. They were down 29 to 9 or whatever. It might have even been worse at the time. DeAndre Swift somehow got 8 fantasy points in like one singular drive. And I kind of like went back and like looked. They handed it off to him like 5 times for like, I don't know, maybe like 30 yards and then threw it to him like 4 times for like 30 yards. And like, yeah, he just got, so it was like a garbage time game where it's like, why would the starters even be in for Chicago? They keep the starters in and then just go to DeAndre Swift over and over and over and over again and just like racked up his day. So like DeAndre Swift looked terrible, but he ends with 11 points off of that shit. I would have been pissed if I lost because of that.
Mm-hmm. And now that I think of it, I forgot DK was out, and with DK out last week, JSN scored 10 points.
That's why I was saying. Yeah, that's why I was saying like. I was more worried about Dobbs because of like the matchup and shit. I would have been happier and I would have lost, but I would have been happier if he put JSN in because I love JSN. I mean, he went to Ohio State and stuff, but like they just have never used him how they should. And it was the first time they used him how he should. So I don't really like fault Steve for that. JSN's like basically never been able to do anything in the NFL, even with DK out. So I would have never seen it coming.
Yeah. Steve's team is on a little bit of a slump though. Feel like he started off like 5-2, maybe. No, couldn't be that.
Let's take a look at how Steve's team has been faring over these weeks. I definitely remember calling him a guarantee for the playoffs. Oh yeah, he's lost three of his last
1-3.
Yeah. And that's with a 60-point. Yeah, I think Steve's team is just kind of boom bust in my opinion. Like well, I guess he won with 90, scored 90 this week. I don't know what to think about Steve's team. At the end of the day, I shouldn't be one to judge Steve's team because I just don't trust DeAndre Swift at all. Honestly, like even a little bit. I do think Jacoby Myers for Steve is huge. Also, you know what this game came down to?
Bo Nix.
No.
Or Kamara.
No. First of all, Kamara scored 25 points. So
I was saying, like, I don't know why I brought that
actually,
up. But the fact that he still scores a lot, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, this would have been the swing. Waiver wire defense. I opted to pick up the Eagles defense over Commanders defense. I bid $4 for both of them, which I would have been Steve with the Commanders. I went with the Eagles, and that ended up being the best decision possible because I would have lost if I started the Commanders. So yeah, that actually ended up being it. Fuck defenses. If anyone wants to get rid of them next season, I'm down.
Ryan, I'd like a formal apology. And you're dogging the Titans for the Chiefs. Chiefs had 4 points. Titans had 13. So
it looks like you're a fucking genius, dude.
Time to apologize.
You're like Titans. Really good at this fantasy football thing.
I don't think I've been streaming defenses every week and I haven't failed yet.
Yeah,
I think every week I've gotten good results.
Yeah, to be fair though, I actually the order that I had it was I had Eagles, then Titans, then Commanders. So I didn't even dislike the Commanders. It was just more of the fact that I was worried that Drake May might play, and that's you can't tell me when you saw Jacoby Brissett wasn't playing, you weren't like, oh shit, what the fuck? Yeah. So
luckily he had a bad game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if he had a bad game. I still don't even know like what happened in that.
He fumbled once and then threw a pick at the end to lose.
Yeah, I did see the pick at the end, but they still would have had 11 at that point. No, because they gave up. They only gave up 17, 4 sacks, a fumble, 2 picks. Okay, so it was just that'll happen though, right? Like, you know, the Titans defense has forced 3 turnovers all season. They forced 3 in one game. Like, yeah, you can't tell me.
I saw that coming.
That's the reason why. Another reason why I wasn't like interested too much, or not that I wasn't interested. I was a little more worried about the Titans defense is because I think the Titans defense is solid, but like they don't create turnovers or get sacks for the most part. And then they, set a season high in sacks, or I guess they had 4 last week too. But yeah, I honestly, if Jacoby Brissett was like the guaranteed starter, or like it was more, it felt more that they were gonna play Jacoby Brissett, I probably would have put the Titans over the Eagles. But oh well. And then Ryan loses because of that. You actually laid the Chiefs out there to fuck with Ryan, dude.
That's all
actually insane.
Yep.
Wow. They gave up their second most points of the season. It's almost like you saw it coming. No, to be honest, at the end of the day, also like when it comes to the Chiefs defense, what are they ranked now? Oh, now they dropped all the way to 17. That's crazy.
Like 11 or 12.
I think they were like 10 or 11. So they actually dropped a lot. But my main thing with the Chiefs is they hadn't scored less than 5 points in a game. Oh, I guess besides Baltimore, I don't know if I count that though. Baltimore pisses on everyone. So I just thought they were a safer pick. If you're aiming for like who's gonna get me more points potentially, then like the Titans. But like I usually just try to play it safe with defense, and as long as I don't get negative points, I'm okay with it. So we were looking at my game, right? For a second.
Yeah, we still got 2 remaining.
Yeah. Next game, let's get to the Sad Bowl first, because the other one was, I think, a little bit crazier for anyone who's paying attention. The Sad Bowl ends. Dewey beats Nick by 5. They are both 5-4 now, so this was a big fucking win.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't pay attention to like what was going on in this, but like looking at it after the game, I was like, there is no fucking way that Devontae Adams got Dewey almost 20 points. Like, that's pretty much what sticks out to me. Like, that's fucking absurd.
And that touchdown he got was in the fourth quarter, like towards the end of the game, too.
And Kyron Williams didn't score a touchdown for the first time in like 14 weeks. And a touchdown would have beaten Dewey here.
He was forced to start Jaleel McLaughlin because there's nothing else on waivers. And Nico out, Debo on bye. Just unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. Fully healthy Nick wins this then.
Yeah, easily.
That's crazy. Yeah, if Nick was a little more active on the waivers, Buddy might have pulled out a win here. But he's 5-4. I wouldn't be worried if I were him. He's got Joe Burrow getting him 20+ points. Kyron Williams getting him. He got 10 this week, but I'd say he's typically getting you 15 points. James Conner 12+. Amon-Ra gets you 15 a week. I guess I don't really trust Tyler Lockett all that much. But he's got Debo and Nico, and they'll be fine. And then Dewey's team, like the combination of Jaden and Terry is just going to carry him to the promised land. The wide receiver 6, look at that. This is beautiful.
Fuck, man. I wanted Terry so bad.
I know, dude. I mean, I'm glad I got him in my work league, but and literally what it came down to was I needed a quarterback, or I wanted a quarterback. I didn't want to pick like Anthony Richardson or even Joe Burrow, which if I picked Joe Burrow, I still wouldn't have gotten Terry. Just sucks. If I could go back and do anything differently, it 100% would have been going with my original or my alternate plan, I guess. Well, I wanted Terry either way. I was hoping that if I took Kyler in the 6th, Terry would go to 7. That was never going to happen. But yeah, I tried pairing Terry and Jaden McDaniels, but it's just the way where I was in the draft and stuff, it didn't work out. And it's like, wow, if I did that, that would have been fucking sick, because replacing Jaden and Kincaid with Terry and Kyler, like that would have been nasty.
Yeah. I would have had fucking if T. Higgins wasn't there, it was Tank Dell, no doubt. And then Terry was my backup. So like it was just either of those would be way better than T. Higgins right now.
Yeah, well, T. Higgins, I just can't believe he doesn't play football anymore, dude. It's wild.
Fucking bitch.
I'd say both teams are looking good right now, though. Both sads.
Yeah, they're both set. I mean,
when Nick gets
like
healthy,
teams, so
when Nick gets healthy, that was another thing I was talking to Kyle about, and he was saying like there are teams that are good, but like if they have an injury or two, they're fucked. Like Nick's not fucked, especially if you get 14 points from Tyler Lockett. Is that the most points he's had this year? Oh, okay, second most when he scored 14 another time. But Nick is kind of one of those teams that reminds me of that. It's like fully healthy Nick when you put Nico and Debo in. Like, who's beating Nick? Like, no one.
Can't.
But if he has any injuries to him, it's like Jaleel McLaughlin's going in the lineup. Like, that's not fucking good. So, actually, Dewey kind of looks like that, too. Say Terry gets hurt. I see this man throwing Romo Dunze, and apparently Romo Dunze had 13 points. What the hell? God. Either way, though, the Sad Bowl. The Sad Bowl is always a classic. And now let's get to the game of the week, in my opinion. Gorman versus Dave. Dave's team fully heating up. I've been saying it for weeks. This upcoming week, I play Dave. And I've been saying it for weeks, since like week 4. By the time I play Dave, Dave's team is actually going to be good, and that pisses me off. And I'm correct. Dave's team is officially good. He loses a close one, but it's 121 to 116. Dave probably would have beat almost anyone. And it all came down to fucking Monday night. Gorman gets 25 points from DeAndre Hopkins, and it was the last touchdown, the second touchdown DeAndre Hopkins scored. That's what did it to Dave, because he was going to win before that. If you check the stupid ESPN tracker, that's never right. Dave had a 99% chance to win when he was up like 116 to 112 or something. But like it showed him as like, hey, this dude's going to win. So like, man, you got to feel for Dave here. He didn't need to, but it would have been nice to get that on the board. And think about it, Dave.
Good story.
Well, not even that. Think about it. Dave wins that. He's 2-7. I've been saying I think an 8-6 team is going to miss it. But But what's stopping it from being a bunch of us going 7-7? At this point, we're all close in record. Like, and if that happened, I think that Dave can win out from here. I'm not even fucking kidding, dude. I think his team's he's good. Like, Dobbins is good. Tyreek has Tua back. Malik Neighbors is good. Kate Otten, they have no one else to throw to. Jordan Addison is good.
Otten's been crazy.
Yeah, Jordan Addison is good. And he's still got Najee and Pickens on the bench. Like, I don't know. Dave's got a fucking sick ass team, and then Gorman. I wish I had what Gorman has. I feel like every week he gets 3 guys getting him 30 points, and then it's like now he has to win. Man.
That was the recipe Kyle had last year, and it won him all.
Yeah,
won the whole thing for him. So
true. Like sometimes that's just how it has. Some people build a lineup where they're like, I'm trying to consistently get this, and this. Like that's why I love Amon Ra. That's why I would have loved Terry this year. Like guys that consistently give me 15 points each week and I can rely on. I fucking love those guys. But like some people opt for the other strategy where they're like, I'm starting Caleb Williams every week, but it doesn't matter because Saquon and Derrick Henry are going to give me 60 points every week. Now apparently Hopkins is, and Devontae, like touching on it earlier with that trade with Ryan, Devontae, if Gorman didn't have Devontae, he loses this game. Devontae got 17 points. He won by 5.
Have to start, unless he started Quentin Johnston, which is a long shot. I guarantee he would have put Keenan Allen in.
Yeah, he would have put Keenan in. He loves Keenan. But yeah, and think about it. If Sam Laporta like didn't suck this year, like Gorman's team would be.
Laporta's the biggest surprise, I'd say.
Yeah, Gorman's team would be looking really, really good. I actually wonder, who do you think Gorman would have started, Hopkins or Cooper if Amari Cooper played? Because he likes Amari
definitely
Cooper.
Play Cooper. He loves.
Dude, so Gorman probably would have lost this matchup if Amari Cooper played, because there's no way Amari Cooper was scoring 25 points. But either way, Gorman, huge win, game of the week. Dave, feel free, man. You deserve that, but you didn't get it. Now, I guess let's go and read what ESPN says about this week in their little recap thing. All right. Okay, here we go, Paul, making an appearance early. If we didn't know any better, we'd think Paul was trying to make a run for the playoff. What? What does that even mean? You are making a run at the playoffs. Wait, why are they saying if we didn't know any better, we'd think Paul is trying to make a run at the playoffs? Like, what do you mean you think he is making a run at a play? You're 6-3, right?
Yeah.
What are they talking about? Okay, if we didn't know any better, we'd think Paul is trying to make a run for the playoffs. When you beat a team by 40 points, you're clearly sending a message to them and the rest of the league. Try not to take this personal, Mike. Clearly, Paul was on a mission. You just happened to be in the way. Start to focus on Chip, and when it comes to last week, just let it go. Let it go. Sorry. Oh, Mike tried to get Elsa to sing that as part of the recap, but her schedule was too busy. Don't take that personally either. That was a shitty one. That was a shitty way to end that little recap.
Horrible.
That was bad. Top scoring players were JSN was the highest scoring on the week, but then you got Saquon, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Burrow, and Achane. Most valuable bench warmers where Steve had 2 of them, JSM and Geno Smith, and then Gorman had 1 of them, Quentin Johnston. I will say that's not usually typical that like a quarterback ends up on there, and it's also not typical that the 3rd highest scorer that was on the bench was Quentin Johnston. Right?
That's
like, isn't that kind of crazy? He scored 20 points. It's a lot, but like you would think it would be like guys getting 25 plus. Even Geno Smith scored 22.
No.
Oh man, did you hear that?
No.
Okay, good. These players could have been left on the bench, the false starters this week. Yeah. Kyler Murray, number 1. Number 2 is Puka, who got ejected for punching a guy. And then number 3 is Kyron Williams, who scored 10 points. So that's a little shocking because there's got to be other worse players that were started, right? Than a guy who scored 10. But I guess I don't really know like where the logic is coming from with that.
I guess Jalen Coker had 4 points.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't really know how that ended up happening. Why they're considered why Kyron is on the list as the 3rd worst started player this week. And now we have the game changer. One player's performance can determine an outcome this week. It was Zay Flowers. What a performance from Zay Flowers. Sometimes one player can make the difference in a matchup, and this week it was Zay Flowers, leading Austin to victory. Zay Flowers outscored their projected point total by 16. Unfortunately for Ryan, this result drops their record to 6-3. Hopefully Lamar Jackson can have another strong performance next week to get Ryan back into the right side of the win column. And then we have, oh no, sorry Dave, Monday Night Miracle. This game came down to Monday night's game. It ain't over till it's over. Dave may have walked into Monday night feeling confident about a win, but DeAndre Hopkins had other things in mind. Their 25 points gave Gorman the win and bragging rights for the week. And that's the recap that we have from ESPN. And now let's get into the standings, actually. So the standings, first place in the East, Paul at 6-3. Second place, Gorman at 5-4. Third place, Nick at 5-4. Fourth place, me at 5-4. Fifth place, Austin at 4-5. Sixth place, Chip at 4-5. So none of us have below four wins in the East, which is bizarre.
The East runs the league.
Seriously though, this is we have such a hard division that, like, you know, you might have like Mickey Mouse Ryan make the playoffs, right? He didn't have to play the tough schedule. But first place in the West is Ryan at 6-3. Second place is Kyle at 6-3. Third place is Steve 5-4. Fourth place is Dewey at 5-4. Then we have Mike 2-7 and Dave at 1-8. Highest score on the year is Gorman. Congrats, Gorman. Gorman is now the highest scorer on the year. I think it was Ryan before. Ryan is number 2, and then Kyle is number 3. He's actually caught up to Ryan there. So that's impressive because Ryan had a huge lead. The lead's basically gone, but even then, the lead's almost gone to Kyle too, which is pretty shocking. Lowest scorer is Mike. Poor Mike. Let's see. Lowest scored on is still Ryan, the only one not in the 800s. Highest scored on is Chip. And then if we go to the division, Gorman actually, that makes me so sick. Gorman has lost to every player in his division. So everyone in the West was gifted a win from Mike. And then Dave is 1-4 in his division. I don't even know who Dave beat in here to be. Oh, it was Mike. So Dave has basically given a win to everyone else in the division. Paul just killed the East division. We said it's the hardest division, and Paul is 4-1 against him. I think that speaks volumes.
It means a lot.
You're the best. The second best record in our division is me and Gorman and Austin at 2-3 and Chip at 2-3. You're the only one above 500 in the division. So future Footbap champion. We're gonna have to
wait see if T. Higgins fucking plays. We'll see.
Paul, best home record, 4-1. And Mike is the worst home record, 1-3. The best away record is still Gorman, 4-1. Dewey, 4-1. Kyle, 3-1. Steve, 3-1. Ryan, 3-1. A lot of road dogs here. Dave, 0-5 on the road. Chip only has one win on the road, and Mike only one win on the road. As for streaks, longest streak is me at 3 wins, but Kyle and Austin both have 2-game win streaks going on. And then actually, technically, the longest streak is Dave losing 6 in a row. Most moves still belongs to Paul. Kyle's getting up there. Kyle's climbing up the moves.
Kyle's got to chill.
He's going crazy. He's going crazy right there. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket if the season ended today. The number 1 seed would be Ryan, still getting a bye. It's been that way for a bit now. Number 2 would be Paul, playing number 7, Steve. Number 3 would be Kyle, playing number 6, me. Okay, so we got good matchups in here if this ended today. And then number 4, Gorman versus number 5, Nick. This is about as good as it could be if this ended up being you versus Steve is an instant classic. Me versus Kyle, instant classic. Gorman versus Nick, instant classic. That would be such a good first round set of games. Now Dave has the automatic bye as the 12 seed, worst team in the league. You would have number 10 Chip playing number 11 Mike in the losers bracket, and then you have number 8 Dewey playing number 9 Austin in the losers bracket today, if that's how things ended. Now let's check out the power rankings here, how things shaped up. I'll actually go Do you think I should read it off from here, or just go straight to the chart for future episodes?
Just start it here and then go to the chart. I think
Okay.
it's easier for people to see.
So, first place at this point, ESPN is picking Kyle to finish in first. Paul, second. Ryan, third. Nick, fourth. Dewey, fifth. Gorman, sixth. Me, seventh. Steve, eighth. Austin, ninth. Chip, 10th. Mike, 11. And Dave, 12th. It's just so tough when people have like Austin in their name and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck do I even... either way, big story from this, looking at the chart, the number 2 curse is over. Paul did end up winning. We talked about it last week. The number 1 seed had lost the number 1 team ranked by ESPN had lost every single week. That curse ends today. Kyle, a meteoric rise. Week 7, 2 weeks ago, he's the number projected to finish 7th. Now, 2 weeks later, projected to finish 1st. That is a meteoric rise.
Major come up.
At the same time, the biggest drop, Steve drops from being projected to finish 5th to now 8th. He has never been projected outside of the playoffs this entire season. The lowest he was 7 1 week. Outside of that 1 week where he was 7, he was at 4, 2, 2, 4, 3, or 4, 2 again, 5, 6, 5. Like, so that's a crazy drop for Steve. They have him out of the playoffs. We'll see if ESPN knows what they're talking about there.
Mm-hmm. Another nice thing I noticed, the Ryan 1-3 drop continuation is still there.
Yep. So Ryan, since week 4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, still going on. Nick's keeping steady at that 4 spot. Let's see. Yeah, not too much else. Yeah. Me and Chip are on like opposite trajectories. Chip's dropped 2 places, and I've gained 2 places since week 7. Outside of that, Gorman is like the definition of steady in the middle here. Gorman has never been outside of 5 and 8. He's been between 5 and 8 the whole season. That's actually fucking crazy when you think about it. That's actually super impressive. Man, this is a good chart. Kyle's is just great. From 2 projected 2nd in the preseason to dropping all the way to 7th to going back all the way up to 1st. I mean, that's just, you just love to see that. It's just a feel good story all around. But yeah, this is how the chart plays out now. We'll see if anything changes with Mike and Dave. They're in a little 2-man race with the 11 and 12 up there. And by me saying, let's see if things change, I'm saying that because I think it's going to change. I think Dave is not going to end as a 12th seed. I think it's crazy they have him as the 12th team, or ending at the 12th, because I think Dave's team is legit good and he's going to rally off some wins here. But let's get into the waiver wire for this week. Paul, what do you say?
Yep, let's do it.
Since we talked to you last, Kyle picked up Juwan Jennings for $13. Ryan picked up the Chiefs defense for $4. What a stupid pickup, right, Paul?
Yeah, fucking idiot.
Dave picked up Matt Stafford. Mike, and when I see Austin and Gorman, I want to say Gorman. Mike picks up the Falcons defense. Kyle picks up the Saints defense. Paul picked up Gabe Davis. Oh my gosh, he's on a roster. And then on Sunday, apparently Austin is making a bunch of people available to trade: James Cook, Devon Achane, and Brian Robinson Jr. And now let's get to what happened earlier today. Paul added Khalil Herbert for $8. Paul, can you give me your expectations for Khalil Herbert rest of season?
None. No expectations.
$8 isn't anything to... the $8 is a good chunk of change.
8's my lucky number, so I've dropped $8 on Darnell Mooney and Jerry Jeudy.
And where did Darnell Mooney get you?
Well, I mean, I'm just
saying
he's not on my
team.
Roster. Yeah, but he's doing well. Jerry Jeudy not on my roster, but he's doing well. So
wait a second. So those guys. So you're saying you're going to drop Khalil Herbert before Sunday, and then he's going to get swooped up by someone.
Maybe not. But I'll ride a week or two out he'll have 3 points per game probably, and then I'll drop him, and then someone else will get him, and he'll be great. So
You know who's gonna pick him up?
Just wait. Ryan probably.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. Austin added the Jets defense for $6. That is the most anyone spent on a defense this year. Against Arizona, that's not even like that good of a matchup. That's not like a bad that's not like a bad matchup, but like that's a pretty mid matchup for a defense. That is crazy. I would have expected $6 is what I would have expected. Like
for the Bears, probably.
But
the Bears play the Patriots.
Well, what are the Bears ranked this year? 6th. Either way, I just meant more like when I put $4 on the Broncos defense, they were the number 2 defense, and they played like Vegas and like Carolina back to back or something. Like this is like the Jets, and I don't know. What are the Jets defense ranked on the year? I'm gonna guess 12. 11. I was close. Yeah. So Austin, congratulations. Highest spender on a defense so far this year. He's trying to.
He did draft the Browns. He's had the Browns all year, so maybe.
He's done with the Browns.
He's not familiar with how defense pricing works, so he just threw $6 on there.
Yeah, he didn't know what to expect. I see what you're saying there. Chip added Ricky Pearsall. Paul added the Bears. Let's see if anyone else put money on the Bears. Kyle too.
Ooh, that makes me feel
better. A nice little win there. Austin added Isaac Guerrero. Steve added Nick Westbrook-Akine. That's so fucking fun. I mean, I think he's actually done something the last couple weeks.
Look at his stats, dude. He just catches touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just Xavier Legette, basically. That's hysterical. Steve got his guy. Gorman gets the Giants. Mike gets Justice Hill. Kyle gets the Bills. Who are the Bills playing this week? Indy. That's probably solid.
All right.
It's Flacco. If it was Anthony Richardson, that'd be really good. And then Kyle added Hunter Henry. I wonder if Brock Bowers is on a bye or something. Speaking of the waiver wire pickups, there was a fight that broke out today between 2 league mates, Ryan and Steve. Ryan put a bid in for Khalil Herbert. Paul, congratulations, you got Khalil Herbert. Ryan put a bid in for Justice Hill. Congratulations, Mike, you got Justice Hill. And now Ryan, that didn't sit well with Ryan. Didn't sit well with Ryan.
He didn't get his lottery ticket. He was at the store, dollar in hand. They said, "We're sold out, buddy."
He couldn't buy his lottery ticket. He couldn't buy, according to Steve, the number 1 running back handcuff, Justice Hill. Justice Hill was given out for free, but not to Ryan. He was given to Mike. So we had a bit of a fight break out between Steve and Ryan, I'd say. Steve said that Justice Hill was the number 1 fantasy handcuff. Ryan took offense to that, probably because he was mad he didn't get Justice Hill. And it was, tempers were flaring, emotions were high. I think Ryan ended up apologizing at one point, right?
Yeah, he realized his wrongdoings. He said he was flustered that I stole Khalil from him.
Khalil. He at this point, like, I think I said it earlier to you, Paul. I've never seen 2 guys fight over. I've never seen someone so upset they didn't get mid on their team that bad. Like, if I went out on the waivers, and let's look on the waivers right now. I just want to see.
I don't really know. I can't really remember why I got so excited to pick him up, or at least put $8 on him. I think just because, in the Bengals' mind, maybe he'll be a better Zach Moss role.
I mean, I think Khalil Herbert's a good player. It was a weird signing by the Bengals, because if you think about it, Zach Moss was basically there just to pass protect, because he's good in pass protection, and Khalil Herbert isn't good in pass protection, or at least he's never done that in his career. So I don't really know what was going on there. I mean, Zach Moss is on IR. Maybe they just wanted a secondary running back that could do anything, and they don't really give a shit about replacing Zach Moss. They were just like, let's get a body that, instead of giving Chase Brown 30 touches, this guy can take 10 of those from him or something, and then like we'll be good to go. So it could just be something like that. You never know what it'll turn into.
I think I know what needs to happen for Ryan to solve his running back woes. I think you can see it right there in the middle of your screen. Tyjae Spears,
I'm glad you said that.
Running back.
I'm glad you said that because you brought it up. You were talking and I didn't want to interrupt you. I was gonna say that would be like if someone outbid him him getting outbid on Khalil Herbert or whatever, and that's he's not happy about that. I basically view Tyjae Spears like the exact same. I feel like, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so like, yeah, go out on waivers, pick up Tyjae Spears. Everyone, Tyjae Spears is on waivers. So is Zeke Elliott. Someone pick him up. Paul, let's get into the matchups this week. Let's start first.
Not forcing around.
Let's start first with an absolute piss matchup here. This looks crazy. Let's get to a little piss bowl action here.
Wow.
Gorman, not Gorman, because Mike's name has Gorman in it.
Mike change your fucking name. You do this every year.
Mike is playing Chip. Chip is currently projected to win 89 to 87. Definitely the lowest total we've seen all year.
Oh, yeah.
Two teams in shambles. Mike has Justice Hill in the lineup. Sterling Shepard in the lineup. Chip has Ricky Pearsall in the lineup and Jalen McMillan in the lineup. So we just have an absolute fuck fest here. Just the worst kind of matchup you can see possible. If Chip was on City Skyline, I'd like to ask him about his lineup, but as it stands right now, no, I can't do it. I will say Chip is at least on. I can't guarantee a win for Mike, but Chip is on upset alert big time right here.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
My prediction, it all comes down to Kareem Hunt if he gets his touchdown of the week or not. Yeah. But Denver's defense is good, but it's the Chiefs. They're going to score. So we'll just have to see. I think, and Ladd McConkey's kind of blowing up lately. If he continues his rise of scoring 8 points a week, then, things are going well.
I think that this is going to be a little bit of a repeat of you last week, where we're going to say, upset alert, watch out, wee woo, and then I actually think the final score is going to be Chip 72, Mike 61. That's what my final score is.
Jamar Chase is going for 30, though. Baltimore with no Higgins.
Oh, yeah. So let's see how this is how Mike is getting to 61 points. 30 points from Jamar. 10 points from Brock Purdy. I'm getting a calculator out so I don't go over this.
Probably 11 from Kelsey.
30 point. No. Here, I got this. 30 points from Jamar. 10 points from Purdy. 6 points from Tyrone Tracy. 3 points from Justice Hill. 2 points.
Come on. I think Tracy will have more. I think Mike's in for a big week.
2 points for Sterling Shepard. 5 points from Calvin Ridley. 2 points from the Falcons defense and 2 points from Travis Kelce, and now you have 60 points. There you go.
I'm putting Mike at 80.
No, it's going to be. This is going to be. I'm telling you, this game, when the projection is this low, Vegas is trying to tell you something. It's low for a reason. We've talked about this before. North Texas, Charlotte.
Yep.
North Texas, Charlotte. You saw that low number, and they enticed you. They're enticing people here. How could they score below this? Just watch this. Is going to be. This is ending in the 70s at highest. I'm just saying it right now. So
I'm a little pissed. I'm taking the over.
A little piss matchup there. This is a pretty big matchup, I'd say. Also, it looks like we might have some good games this week. Kyle is projected to beat Gorman 106 to 99 right now. Is Gorman's lineup set? Let's see. And is Kyle's lineup set? I think they're both set, actually.
So.
Yeah, they're both set. I think this is going to be a super close one also.
This is like the battle of the 3 guys getting you 30.
Yes.
And then the rest of your team doing nothing. So
yes, because Hurts, and Mixon are combining for 60. Saquon and Derrick Henry are combining for 60. Yeah, but at the very least, they both have 2 guys combining for 60 no matter what. And then it's going to come down to all the other guys. So yeah, this is we got a good matchup.
Still rolling with Caleb Williams. Not picking up anyone else.
It's pretty funny that he's been he does have Drake May on his bench. This has been a funny I think if Caleb never got 17 points week 3, he wouldn't be on his team. And then it made it worse that he played the 2 worst, historically terrible defenses in a row, got 24 and 28, and it gave him hope that Caleb could like do even more. So he got bamboozled, dude. He got bamboozled big time.
Like Mike picked up Kirk Cousins last week, and that was a great pickup. Imagine if Gorman had that, he'd be fine.
Trust me, that Geno Smith, dude. There have been so many quarterbacks that I've been thankful Gorman hasn't picked up, because I'm like, that's a game changer for Gorman.
Yeah, Jared Goff too. You have him recently.
Yeah, exactly. Like there were a lot of guys. But yeah, he's still running with Caleb. You know, they are playing New England. That defense kind of sucks, so maybe something will happen there. Close game here. I'm gonna roll with Kyle here.
Yeah, Gorman. I'm gonna say it. He got lucky with Hopkins' 25 bomb.
They're just going against Denver too. That's basically what I'm going against. There's no way Hopkins is putting 25 against Denver, but Aaron Jones might put up 25 against Jacksonville. Giants defense maybe putting up 25 against Carolina. This is tough, dude.
I'm going with Kyle on it.
Yeah, I'm still going with Kyle because Kyle is the hottest team right now in terms of points scored like the last few weeks. So I'm still going with Kyle, but yeah, Kyle's hot and he's healthy. That's all I got to say. But yeah, good matchup there. Classic matchup. Let's get to the most depressing matchup and get it out of the way now. I'm projected to lose to Dave by 10. Like I said, Dave's team is completely on the come up. I'm beat up. I got guys fucking questionable. Dave is projected to outscore me at every single position.
And he has the Vikings D against the Jags, which I feel like should be more than 6. Honestly.
Yeah. They projected Eagles for 6 last week though, so it's I don't know what's going on there. That's the only reason, honestly. If the I'm glad I stuck to my guns and stuck with the Eagles last week, but like the fact that they were projected 6 and like Commanders and Titans were projected like 8 was really making me pause. But yeah, no, I think last week I was in a good spot. I had a lot of good matchups. This week I don't really have a lot of good matchups, and then I don't know. I just think Dave's team is on the come up. Cade Otton is like an automatic 10 plus. Neighbors gets Carolina. Tyreek Hill gets the shitty Rams defense on Monday night. So honestly, if I'm not up by 50 going into Monday night, I'm chalking it up as a loss, because what happens to me on Monday night combined with Tyreek Hill being the guy on Monday night, like I don't know. I think I'm. At least I'm 5-4, but I might. It's my matchup, so I can't guarantee Dave to win, but it's about as close as I can get to guaranteeing a win.
We gotta hope that this week. AJ Brown and Brian Thomas play though.
Nah, I bet. I mean, I think one of them are going to be out, and then I'll have to throw Rico Dowdle in, and then we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Dave's team, he's on a heater, and he didn't. That was another reason why I was rooting hard for Dave to win last week, because I was like, get him his win now, just so I can at least hope like next week it'll be different. But no, he didn't get the win last week. He has to get the win this week. I think he's going to score a lot on me too. I think he's going to score like 130. Oh, we got another little piss matchup here too. Love this. Damn. Ryan takes on Nick.
All right, they don't have full lineups in.
All right, when Nick sets his lineup, he's gonna have Debo in, and
Jalen Warren, maybe.
He does.
I guess.
Wait a second.
Oh, for tight end.
He doesn't have a tight end, so I think Nick is gonna be around like 95 points projected, and Ryan is probably gonna be around 87 because he's putting Blake Corum in. Yeah, so this is kind of crazy. I think that this is going to be a close game, and it just comes down to, I think Lamar scoring 35 on Cincy. I think George Kittle scoring 18 on Tampa Bay. I think Taysom Hill is going to get 10. I think he's going to score another touchdown this week. And I think Justin Jefferson's going to score 20 to 25 on Jacksonville. So I think Ryan's going with the Gorman and Kyle like strategy to win this week, where he's going to get 90 points from 3 players. Whereas Nick, he's going to have, a more of a team effort here. Joe Burrow against Baltimore is scary. Kyron against Miami is scary. James Conner against that shitty run defense of the Jets, scary. Amon-Ra Sunday night. I mean, Nick's got great matchups. Ryan's got a few really good matchup on his best players. This is a close game to me. I don't know if I agree with the projections being so low, honestly.
Yeah, it should be higher. I do think Ryan will take home the dub. Because again, we talked about Lamar and Kittle just being not fair to have on your team. But Ryan, hear me out. You got Mike Williams against the Commanders' defense. I think you got to throw him in for Taysom Hill.
Come on, try out your new toy.
Yeah. You didn't hold on to him this long to keep riding the bench.
Is Ryan on right now? Should we try to test him?
Yeah, I think he is. He said pop. He's got his computer set up. I know that.
Let's see. Dave's on right now. The fuck? Let's see. Yeah, he's on. All right, let's give him a ring. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah. I'm here.
Wait, we're gonna test his.
Oh yeah. He's
test his loyalty. He's got.
What else is he doing?
What else could this man be doing right now? Oh, he's probably
got the
watching
setup.
the Cavs though. He's probably watching.
Wait, it starts at 8.
Oh, you're right. I thought it was 7:30.
Yeah.
Well,
either way.
Yeah. Ryan's not going to pick up, but either way, Ryan, when you come back and listen to this, start Mike Williams.
Throw in Mike Williams. Yeah, make it fun. Come
on. So we're going to get into the next game here.
I was saying he can take a loss. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. He can't take a loss because he is 6-3. But I really think he's going to win this one. I weirdly I do think Burrow's going to go off. But I weirdly think that Kyron is going to put up like 12 and James Conner 12, Amon-Ra 15. And then because I just think that something weird's going to happen here. And is he going to stick with the Bengals defense? Oh, he got the Steelers defense. He doesn't even have good defenses to play. What the hell is Nick doing right now? I think that this is going to be one of those classic mismanaged Nick weeks. When Nick plays me in fantasy, he manages his team right. He goes out and he makes 5 waiver picks and makes sure he has a lineup to try to beat me. I've been accusing Paul of cheating for years. Not cheating, but tipping him off. Admit it, Paul. Admit it now that you tip him off.
I never have, dude. You can ask Nick himself.
Yeah, you two are working together. It's always crazy, though. I'll see Nick, not make a waiver move. He's starting, 3 shitty players, and then he'll play me and then have a full-blown lineup that he just created out of nowhere. I think we're getting one of those Nick not setting his lineup, not really trying weeks this week. He's going to play Bengals defense probably accidentally tomorrow night, and that's going to get him -5 points. He's probably going to throw in he's probably going to accidentally keep Jaleel McLaughlin or something. There's so many ways that this can go wrong. I just have a feeling it's going to be one of those days. But outside of that, like I said, I think Lamar, Jefferson, Kittle are going to combine for 90, and that's probably going to be what ends it anyway. So a close matchup either way, potentially, but I think it's going to be one of those classic weeks. Now this is a little bit of a fun matchup here.
The Sky Fam rivalry.
Yes, the Sky Fam rivalry. Austin plays Steve. Austin's 4-5 and Steve's 5-4. Are these lineups set? I see Tyler Algier and Steve's lineup, and it is set. So
yeah,
throwing it out.
Everyone else is on a bye.
I guess Austin has McCaffrey in, but he can just put in Robinson if McCaffrey doesn't play. But I've seen enough. Austin's winning this matchup. I mean, is there anything else to say? Austin's winning. No, how could he lose this?
We've been talking. Steve 1-3 in the past 4 games now, and Austin on the hot streak with his players healthy. Well, not
probably
healthy,
no CD.
His team is getting better.
Probably no CD for Steve, and if he has CD, it's Cooper Rush throwing in passes. Tyler Algier's in the lineup. Bo Nix against the Chiefs. Can't be good. Meanwhile, for Austin, Darnold plays Jacksonville, smash spot. James Cook plays Indy, smash. Devon Achane versus the Rams, great. Zay Flowers versus Cincy, elite. And so Austin's got great matchups. Steve doesn't.
Did you mention that Steve's playing Westbrook Ikine?
Oh my gosh. And Steve is playing Nick Westbrook-Akine, so he's banking on the one random touchdown.
Yeah. This is incredible.
This is just couldn't be. After this matchup, Austin will be 5-5 and Steve will be 5-5. Mm-hmm. Think about that.
Crazy,
and Austin's just going to be back.
Times.
He's just going to be fully back. And that's all I'm covering on that.
That's
on
my
that
guaranteed
game.
win of the week, no doubt.
Yeah. I think we already went over that. Did we
it's
already
just me left, I think.
We went over that. Yeah, I think you're right. Paul, 6-3, is taking on Dewey, 5-4. Dewey is projected to win 110 to 101. Paul, what are your thoughts on your match against Dewey this week?
Well, it was like 106, 109 when Higgins was in, but I've only mentioned it 4 other times tonight that I hate that guy and he's a fucking pussy. But yeah, I'm not confident. I don't think I'll win, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Dewey's team is just the possibility of him scoring 120 every week is there because of Devontae Adams now, and Eric London is questionable. But Terry and Jaden Daniels, Bijan, they're all fucking insane. That's his three-headed monster that can score 70 between them, so
yeah.
So yeah, I'm not confident. I'd give myself like a 20% chance.
I think Jaden going up against Pittsburgh, that's good for you. But Bijan against New Orleans, yeah, that's tough. Monty I feel like he just is guaranteed 12. Drake London, I think, got hurt.
Yeah, did he practice? Let's see what he did. Limited. Yeah, damn it.
Well, it's not.
Fuck. I'm praying on his downfall.
This man is praying for injuries. There's only one person praying on injuries harder than Paul, and it's Ryan.
Yep.
But I'm just shoot, dude. Yeah, you had a tough matchup. I don't know. I think it will be close, but it's gonna come down to Deontay whether or not he has a touchdown to go with his 40 yards this week.
I know.
And if Courtland Sutton has like 6 catches for 80 yards, then you're in business. But if either of them totally piss class out, and if the Bears defense gets like 15 points, that'll help out too. But Dewey is in a good spot. But still, I think potential good game we have going on here.
My flex spot could be 3 different people, so that's the hard thing. Javonte or Jamison Williams.
Yeah, that's what I've been dealing with like every freaking week, it feels like. All right, Paul, I think that's about all we have in terms of these matchups. So I'm going to say my guaranteed win of the week is Austin. That was yours too, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And then my guarantee over-under is Chip and Mike under their total. 100%.
I'm smashing the over.
And that's okay. So we're going up against each other. We'll see who comes out on top right here. Yeah. Anything you got else to say to Footbap Nation?
No, just I think I've said this every week. The fucking tight win-loss ratio for everyone, not just the East, but everyone across the board. Besides Mike and Dave, it's a crazy year, man. We've got something to look forward to.
10
as it
teams,
unfolds.
10 teams with 4 to 6 wins. Usually at this point you'd have a couple teams that are 7-2, probably like 4 teams that have like 3 wins or something. Like, nah, this is crazy. This is unprecedented what we're seeing this year. The final stretch is going to be insane.
I do have something to say. I don't know if it's just me being worrisome with T. Higgins and Deontay Johnson being kind of useless now. I see a world where I don't make the playoffs. Could you agree with that?
No, I don't think so. I think 6-3 is too much. 6-3, I agree with a 90% chance to make it. You have to end the year 2-3. You don't think you can end the year 2-3?
Well, my thing is like my scoring hasn't been great lately. So like the tiebreaker scenario. That's been great all year,
though. You have good luck.
No, I mean like if it comes down to a tiebreaker, I'm probably going to be at the bottom part of it. So that's my scenario. I go down to say 8-6, and I lose on the tiebreaker and don't make it. That's my prediction.
Okay, yeah,
we'll see.
I think as of right now, I'm picking my 7 playoff teams. I think you're gonna make it. I think you're gonna end. I think you're gonna end 8-6. I don't know what your schedule is. Let's take a look at your schedule. So
it's kind of average. I don't play Mike or Dave again. So
NFL schedule accidentally. You don't play Mike or Dave again? Yeah, so that'll be that's huge. But I think you know what? You're definitely making the playoffs. When I play you this week 12, I can't set a full lineup. For some reason
me neither. I have a lot of buys.
so we're both bugged. Yeah, that'll be interesting then, because I've been playing it as like, oh yeah, okay, so I'm losing to Paul that week. So, but either way, so that's like a 50-50. I think you're making it at 8-6. I think Gorman's making it at 8-6. I think Nick's making it at 9-5. I think he's gonna win a shit ton of games here down the stretch. I think Ryan's gonna make it at 8-6. I think Kyle's going to make it at, let's say, 10-4, because I think his team's winning a shit ton of games. Wait. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 2 more teams, and it really could just be anyone. I'm going to say one of them is Austin. I really think he's going to come through. He's got a fully healthy team at this point. So Austin's going to make it at 8-6 also, a historic stretch down here at the end. And then I'm going to say the last one is Dewey. I think, let's see what Dewey's schedule is. Dewey, where is Dewbag? Dewey ends with Dewey's going to beat you this week. He's going to beat Chip the next week. Ryan's team is on the come down. Steve's team on the come down. So yeah, Dewey's going to be.
Dewey's only losing
Dewey's going to be there. Yeah. So you know. Unfortunately, as much as I'm proud that I've gone on this 5-1 run, at some point, like, the schedule is going to catch up to you. I can't just keep beating teams that are projected to beat me every week. As sad as that sounds, I'm hoping to go 7-7 this year, so I can at least say, yeah, maybe the playoff streak is over, and every team will have missed the playoffs at some point in Footbap Nation, but at least I could say I have a 500 streak going on. So that's pretty much what I'm aiming for right now. But is that what you think for playoffs, or do you have any other different?
I think you're making it. That's my only switch up. I think Austin will make it. I feel like he's not going to lose. My oddball out would be, I don't know if did you say Steve's not going to make it?
Yeah, I had Dewey instead of Steve.
Okay.
You're having Dewey and Steve miss it if you do that. Unless you have Ryan or Gorman or Nick not making it.
I'm going to have to do Steve's not making it. I'm going to say Ryan's not making it. Ryan's falling apart.
I knew that you were going to say that too. I knew you were going to have something bold in there. I don't think you. I just can't. I can't see a world where your team falls off that hard. You just got cut back and shit. I just can't see it. But that would be crazy though. If Ryan somehow started like 5-0 and then didn't make it or whatever, that would be fucking crazy. But Footbap Nation, we're happy you guys joined us on this journey this week. And Paul, you got anything else to say now?
Last thing, I sent Ryan a trade for. It was Gabe Davis for Mike Williams. I'm not sure if he could deny that or not, so we'll have to see.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a blockbuster trade. Once again, thanks for joining us, and Footbap Nation.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.